Terrified, anxiety, confusion, hopelessness. My name is Alex, the producer of this documentary. You're about to watch a collaboration of content creators worldwide coming together to share their experiences.
60 years ago, my grandfather moved from the poorest part of Italy to the capital, Rome. And then finally, he was able to build his own shop. The shop became my father's shop, and it grew bigger, it completely expanded. Because at some point, we lost our father, my father, and then a few years later, COVID hit. The Italian government shut down our shop for months while still forcing us to pay taxes. Somehow we survived 2020, somehow we survived 2021, but after 50 years, this shop is not gonna be able to survive 2022. Selling the shop will probably kill my grandpa, and it's already destroying the family, so
Hello, my name is Laura. I'm from South Africa. Our medical systems are not up to scratch. I think especially for people from low-income families, those are the people that it really hits badly. People that don't have access to proper healthcare. So my heart really goes out to those people, and I consider myself and my family fortunate.
When coronavirus first hit, I was here in Shanghai, where I've lived for about 7 years now. We were all told not to go to work, but I couldn't just sit at home and do nothing, so I decided to make daily vlogs for Shanghai Daily. I think, though, in a way, doing vlogs every single day wasn't just a way for me to keep busy. It was also a way for me to stop myself from being scared, I guess. Sometimes I wasn't sure if my vlogs were any help, to be honest. But afterwards, I started getting more and more comments from foreigners in Shanghai who told me they don't know how they would have got through it all without my daily update, so that was pretty awesome. During the early days of COVID-19, I decided to go and see my family in New Zealand, actually. To be quite honest, I was really shocked about how lax the New Zealand border was, and it turned out much of New Zealand was pretty shocked as well. My video went viral there, and within days, our Prime Minister was forced to lock down the border. I like to think that my video played some part in that decision.
I've lost 2 of my paternal aunts. I've also lost my business, in great part because of COVID. But I have to say that the one thing that I've lost the most, that has touched me the most, is the loss of some friends. There were people in a group of friends from high school, from actually school, grammar school, all the way to high school, in my hometown, Colombia. And it was at that time of a lot of pressure where somebody went back to make jokes about the Wuhan virus and the China virus. And I found myself unable to accept that from an educated group of friends, from a group of friends that I care and that I love.
I actually left with my family back to America on the same day that Donald Trump had enacted his travel ban. We arrived expecting quarantines and hazmat suits and facial masks, but unfortunately, we saw none of it. We were arriving to China the day of the enacted travel ban of people coming from America. And so we were able to witness what a truly prepared country will do. So when we arrived to Shanghai, there were hazmat suits, there was precautions at every place. There was enforced quarantining and QR codes. When we got to the quarantine hotel in the city that we live, Ningbo, we were forced apart. My wife and child went in one hotel room and I had to stay in another for 14 days. It felt almost justified. It felt like, okay, they were taking it serious. There was a certain comfort in that.
And I know a patient who donated her plasma to severely ill patients as soon as she recovered. During the time when doctors were still trying to find the best way to save COVID-19 patients, the plasma from recovered patients really helped pull the severely ill patients back from the brink of death. And she told me, I know what kind of pain my family went through, so I will do whatever I can to help as many people as I can to not experience the same pain. That's the people of Wuhan. They really helped save so many people from this pandemic. They are indeed the heroes.
We had no idea how the world would forever be changed by this virus, and certainly didn't know that the rest of the world wouldn't end up pulling together well enough. We'd still continually be hearing from Western media that China's numbers were fake and that millions were continually dying, long after our lives had gotten back to normal, and while most of us in China didn't even know anyone who knew anyone else who caught COVID, let alone died from it. The story and legacy of COVID that'll hopefully be told in this documentary and heard by many should go beyond acting just as a time capsule of this period in history, but hopefully, at least in some way, at the same time, can remind people about the consequences of agenda-driven dishonest reporting. We're still in a period of great geopolitical turmoil, but I hope one day there'll be a calm in the storm that opens up long enough, that allows us to see clear enough, to figure out and to be able to understand that whatever the future holds, there needs to be provisions in place and room to put aside all political differences, no matter how big they may seem, in order to come together as an entire planet to solve whatever the next urgent global crisis may be.